Good morning, students. This is your computer class, and today we will understand about part 2 of lesson number 9, that is XML. So keep your computer book during this class. So students, in our previous class we have already understand about XML, data sharing, data separation, and what is the difference between XML and HTML. So you know that is a data exchanging language which is used to exchange data between application and database system. So XML stand for extensible markup language. Yes, this is also a kind of markup language, and it is used to transfer the data from the database to your application and your application to your database. Okay. So today we will understand about document structure of XML. The basic structure of an XML document differs from an HTML document. Yes, students. So you can see a simple HTML document is made up of 3 parts. A line which contains the information regarding the version of HTML. A header section that is used for a head tab. A body which contains the actual contents of that document. So, but if we're talking about XML document, so the structure of simple XML document is made up of only 2 simple parts, a prologue and root element. So let me discuss one by one what is prologue. So students, prologue is like a header in HTML document. It contains an XML declaration. Yes, whenever you start your XML document, so the first line, that is called prologue. It is react as a XML header. So you can see the syntax of XML prologue. Okay, you can use this kind of XML prologue. And if you want to include some external CSS for formatting pattern, just like HTML, if we want to do some kind of formatting into your XML document, then you can also include some external CSS from this syntax. You can see that. And students, you have not required to download any kind of software for using XML. It can be coded on a simple notepad editor. Just like HTML, we can do this kind of programming on your notepad. Now let me understand about root element. So students, a root element is the first element of an XML document. For example, here element is called the tag. So in this example, you can see the first line that is related to the XML version, that is called XML prologue. After that, a mail tag, you can see that. So this first element is called the root element of this document. After using this first element, that is mail, we can use many kinds of tag like to, from, subject, body. So this is all the tabs are custom defined tabs. Okay, so that is the biggest difference between XML and HTML. In XML we can create our custom tags. So this is the procedure of creating custom tags in XML document. So here you can see that mail tag is a root element. Okay, students. So students, in XML, when we create our custom tags, then there are some naming rules. So you have to take care these rules. So the first rule is names can contain letters, number and other characters. Names cannot start with a number or punctuation character. Yes, students, when you define any tag, then you cannot start with a number. Okay, names cannot start with the letters XML. Yes, you cannot define the tag XML itself because it is a reserved keyword. Okay, names cannot contain spaces, but while specifying name we can use underscore. Yes, you can use underscore for spacing, but you cannot directly use blank space. And a name cannot be reserved word. So there are some words that are reserved in the XML library, so you cannot use such kind of reserved word as the name of your tag. Now our next point is nesting of elements. So students, we have already seen that an XML document consists of various elements. Just like that, you can see the mail tag, that is the root element. So but in this example, you can see all the elements. When the element appears within the some other element, the inner element is said to be nested. Okay, inner element or tag is said to be nested element or nested tags, and nesting serves a very important purpose by keeping the XML document in order, deriving its analogy from the parenthesis in mathematics. Elements must be closed within its parent element in a proper order. So students, you have to take care about this type of nesting whenever you use multiple tags in the form of nesting. So you have to close within its parent element. Okay, just like that. Here which tag is open last, it will be closed first. So this order will be followed in the XML document, just like we do that in HTML programming also. Now XML attributes. So you know that about attributes that we use in HTML. So an attribute defines the basic characteristics of an object or person. Similarly, XML attributes define the nature of an element by defining a particular value to that attribute. Unlike HTML, in XML we cannot leave an attribute without defining its value. So this will be result in a syntax error. So let's create a small XML code to clear the concept. Yes, students, you can see that there are two codes. So the top code is correct with respect to the XML standard, because we have defined the value that is true in the attribute active. Okay, but the second one code is not correct with respect to the XML standard, because here active attribute is not defined by any value. So the attribute active is not a proper XML attribute since it has no predefined value. So you can use both single as well as double quotes to define the value of XML attribute, but one need to be careful. If a value contains an apostrophe of its own, then the code looks like this. You can see that there is a apostrophe mark in the value of nickname attribute. So the code will look like that. Okay, you can see that. So you have to take care about such kind of quotation while you are defining the value of your XML attribute. Now comments in XML. Though XML is a self-explanatory language, yet we come across some instance where we need a comment to describe the proper functionality of the code. For make the code for user friendly, students, so we can also give comment in HTML programming, and in any programming language, if you want to make your code more user friendly, then you have to give some comments in the development of your code. So in XML you can see that you can define your comments by using such kind of syntax. So this comment will not visible at the runtime of this script. This will be visible only into your code. So when a other person will see your code, it will be easy to understand by him. Okay, so you can give such kind of comments in your XML document. You can see that. Now white space. XML always preserves white space in document. Unlike HTML, XML never truncates the white space. Yes, student, in HTML, if we defining such kind of words with a spacing, then the output will not count any space, because HTML always truncates this kind of white space. But when you using XML, and if you defining such kind of white space between two words, then output will be according to the white space, because XML never truncates the white space. So This is a very big difference between HTML and XML. HTML truncates the white space, but XML never truncates the white space. So you can see the difference between HTML output and XML output. Okay, so you can define any kind of space in your XML document without using any other element like NBSP that we are using in HTML. Okay, now our next point is XML parser. So the basic purpose of XML document is to hide the data for a web page, because student XML is used to transfer the data from the database to your application, and your application can be web based. So its basic purpose will be to hide the data from the web page. Hence the compatibility of an XML document with the internet browser is very important. Usually all the browsers have an inbuilt XML parser. And what is XML parser? The function of which is to be read, understand and manipulate XML. So students, your browser will convert all XML content into a JavaScript accessible object, that is called XML DOM. DOM means document object model. So students, whenever the data transmission is to be done between database and application, your browser is very important for converting your XML content into JavaScript accessible object, that is called XML DOM. So this XML DOM can be fully accessed with the help of JavaScript code. So we can use some JavaScript code into your XML programming by accessing XML DOM. XML DOM means XML content, means the data content. So the XML DOM will contain method or functions to read the XML tree completely. And what is XML tree? An XML tree is nothing but a formal structure with start at the root and has subsequent branches. So you know that whenever we create any XML document, we create nesting of text. That nesting of text in XML is called the XML tree, which start from the root element, and we can define all the subsequences branches in the form of multiple texts. So these methods will help the XML DOM to traverse the XML tree, access and insert or even delete some nodes accordingly. If we want to insert some more records, if we want to delete any record, so you can use such kind of XML tree by using your XML programming. So students, XML parser, it is a function which is used to read, understand and manipulate XML content. And this XML content will convert into JavaScript accessible object. And this conversion is done by your browser. So your browser will play a very important role in the transferring of data in database to your application. So that is called XML parser. Okay. Now the last topic of this chapter, that is viewing HTML document in web browser. So students, every browser has the capability to view a XML file. Just like HTML file we can view by any kind of browser. Similarly, we can also use any browser. But if you are trying to view it in the Internet Explorer, so it looks somewhat like this. So you can see its output. It is a result of XML data. It could be passed to any application or any HTML program. Okay, and students, you know that in XML parser you have to convert this XML content into JavaScript object mode, that is called XML DOM. So your browser will automatically convert this XML content into your XML DOM, but there could be time when XML is not converted into XML DOM. For that purpose we have to run a separate JavaScript code. So you can see that this is a JavaScript code that is used to convert XML content into XML DOM, that loads an XML document, and you can see the script that is very easy to understand. This is a window.xml. This is the predefined function that is used to read, understand and manipulate XML contents. So student, for now basically you have to keep in mind that this is a simple JavaScript that is used to load our XML document. If your XML content is not loaded into XML DOM, because its work is done by the browser, but when your browser is not able to convert this, so you can separately run this kind of JavaScript code into your browser. Okay, so this chapter is completed from my side. So students, you have to focus all the points, you have to revise very carefully, and you have to read out full chapter from your book. There is a main topic that is about XML, data separation, difference between HTML and XML, and data sharing, XML parser. Okay, so kindly revise all these things very carefully, and if you have any doubts then you can ask me. Thanks, have a nice day.